all of New York.
Who is videotaping? Are
I,
you close enough?
I've got the little thing where I can be closer than I look up, kind of.
You got a little thing?
Well, you know, Rosie.
Rose, you said, be nice. You said not, no.
I'm recording right now, you know that, right?
And it has audio on it. Okay, let it go.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Judge, take it away.
Okay, friends and family, we're gathered together here in the presence of this company to join George and Andrew in the bonds of matrimony, which is an honorable estate and is not to be entered into unadvisedly or lightly, but reverently, discreetly, advisedly, and soberly. Into this estate, these two persons present come to be joined. If any person can show just cause, why they may not lawfully be joined together, let him now speak, or else hereafter forever hold his peace. Sounds good, huh? Keep going.
Wait a minute.
You didn't invite him anyway, right? Yeah. Okay. Now it's up to you. You're gonna do your vows. Now's the.
Oh, we're using standard, whatever we would normally do, so.
Oh, I thought you said you had your own vows.
No.
Rosie, wedding planner, whatever.
Just swing it. Say exactly what's in your heart and look at George. George, tell Drew what's in your heart. 2
Yeah, you
seconds,
guys-
okay?
Yeah, that'll work.
George, you go.
You go first. You're old age before beauty.
Whoa. This is going right to divorce court.
Judge. Drew, we've shared many years together in many ventures, travel, friends, just all sorts of things. And you are the man I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Okay.
George, I've always dreamed of finding the right person, and when I found you, I knew that you were the one. And although the legality is an added bonus, but doing this in front of all our friends and family is what makes it special. And I'm so glad that I will be able to spend the rest of my life with you.
That was very good.
Very nice.
Now we'll do the rings. Whichever one wants first. And I have everything here, then you repeat after me. Okay. Repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I thee wed,
and with all my worldly goods,
with all my worldly goods,
I thee endow,
I thee endow,
and thereto I pledge,
and thereto I pledge
thee my trust.
thee my trust.
Suck it in, Drew.
That's right. And just spin a little bit.
Drew, you can finish it.
My song.
What's that dinner last night?
It's a goose grease.
It was the pound cake.
Yeah, is that okay?
No.
Does anybody have any HCTZ or water pill?
Home.
Okay.
Not here.
We'll do the same thing again. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I thee wed,
and with all my worldly goods,
and with all my worldly goods,
I thee endow,
I thee endow,
and thereto I pledge,
and thereto I pledge
thee my trust.
thee my trust.
Okay, now to join your hands. Inasmuch as George and Andrew have consented together in wedlock and have witnessed the same before this company, and thereto have pledged each to the other and have declared the same by the joining of hands, I, in the accordance with the authority vested in me by the law of the state of New York, announce that you are partners for life.
Mazel tov.
Everybody, please stay where you are, and we'll be right back with.
Pound cake.
Okay.
I don't just so it came out.
Very nice.
Worked out all right, very nice.
Yes.
We need a glass and that to get out. I
There's
should
no
have brought that.
hubba.
No.
You do that.
No. It is a chuppah. You got it outside. A tent.
Yeah.
I think Rose is getting champagne. And all the glasses on the window ledge over there. Please each take yours with you, your souvenirs for today.
You know what we did on Wednesday night? We tie
You mean we can't throw them into the fire?
If you did all the work I did on time.
Just don't do it in front of Penny. And notice that, well,
No.
That's right. What you do in classes is you get home, that's your business.
Well, you see, as good genealogists, you know, we spend lots of time in courthouses, and we do research on people's lives and the records they leave behind. So normally we'll look for marriage registers and marriage books, and in most courthouses we find there's a groom's register and a bride's register, and
so we're gonna have to figure this out in future.
Oh, no,
years.
No.
Holden has it made.
we're in Colden. We found out they have just
A single register for
single
everyone.
register.
It's a broom register.
You knew these people were smart asses when you invited them.
That's right. That's right.
They don't call us the Blackheart family for nothing.
Is that what they call it?
There's one for each of
All right.
Did you drink?
When I finish those, there's two more.
You can throw those in the fire.
Hey guys,
It's enough sweet.
the flash went off when you were kissing, so can I get a
Okay, you can start.
What, you want another?
another kiss? Yes.
Oh, boy.
What makes Colden different from any other town?
It's New York State, probably.
Thank
I think
you.
it might be New York State.
Barbara?
Because.
Oh, there's one.
Thank you. Yeah, right.
Here, here.
Here.
That's the rub, yeah.
No breaking of the glasses, please.
Well, I suggested that we could do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoops.
No spilling.
Drew.
Oh, I didn't say no drinking either, did I?
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not dizzy
That
now,
work
I'm
out?
gonna be dizzy. Don't drink this.
Okay, this is good stuff.
Hey, only the best.
You're still dizzy?
Just in here is-
These are.
Right, I don't have cups.
Oh, that's great.
And there's lots of champagne, guys, so have all you want.
Because of the.
This is gonna go
All right, now I'm on. Now she's on. Wishes for George and Drew and Lizzie. I love them both. I've known them both for a long time, and I wish them health, happiness, and long life.
Okay.
How I came to know them. I knew Drew before I knew George. Of course, I think that's true for Drew. Drew and I worked together in the library at the University of South Florida in Tampa, and we had gone a couple places, gotten really close, and the next thing I know, George came down from Chicago.
Do you remember when he introduced you?
Yeah, it was in a car outside in front of the library, if I remember right. And he said, "This is my friend George Morgan." And I went, "Okay, fine." And somehow, I just took off from there. It was very casual, I have to tell you. But it's always been very close. They've always been close. So I adore them. Thank you.
Hi there. For Drew and George, I wish both my little boo-boos all the best in the world. They did the longest life and the happiest life that they deserve together, because they are just two wonderful people, and nothing is too good for them. So that's what I wish for them.
Tell me how you came to know them.
I came to know Drew first, as other people have said, Karen.
Yeah.
And also at the University of South Florida Tampa Library. Drew and I worked together there, and eventually, our offices, I think, were next to each other for a while, and we were looking for lunch buddies. I think that's how it started, and we started going to lunch together every day and just became closer and closer, and eventually he invited me over for dinner and cards, of course, games, and that's how I got to know and love George as well as Drew.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
George and Drew are nothing but a long life of happiness and love, which they've already started and they'll continue for the next 50 years, 100 years, 200 years. I have always known George and Drew as George and Drew. I met them at a genealogy conference, and they became colleagues and friends and family.
Thank you.
George and Drew, a long life, a lot of laughter. And as far as going back, I don't want to say how many years, but I think I was 3 or 4 when no, it couldn't have been that, because George is much younger than me. I was young. George is my cousin.
And your first impression was? Another cousin?
Oh, how sweet.
Very good. Thank you.
This is put on the spot. Am I shiny? Do I look okay?
You're doing well. You're looking good.
I met George and Drew through Josh Taylor, who's my partner, and I've known them now for about 2 years, and I'm thrilled to be here as a part of history. And I wish them many long years together. George, Drew, may each of you always have a warm hand to hold you and money in the bank. And between the two of those things, like, you know, just the next 50, 100, 150 years, just happiness together.
Very good. Thank you.